This episode is sponsored by TNT Dogs Unleashed, the only place I trust to bring my four-legged best friend for all your dog training needs.
Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to Talk Dirt to Me. This is already episode number 21. My name is Sandra Graham, and tonight is the first night that I don't have my co-host with me, so we are just going to see how this goes. However, tonight's guest, he is no stranger to victory lane. He has 6 first-place finishes from this past season, and as well as he placed in the top 5 in points at the Airborne Park Speedway. I am happy to introduce the number 61 of JP Corrow.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing, JP?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good. What does JP stand for?
My actual name is John Paul. I like to go by JP, though.
Awesome. All right. So how do you feel about being on this podcast?
It's a little different to me, but it's not too bad.
Yeah. Like I say, it's pretty fun. And like once we get talking, we're probably going to forget that you're on a podcast and it'll just be a conversation. So get the nerves out. You'll be good. All right. So let's talk about who you are, what you drive, what got you into racing. So give me some background on you.
Okay. So, growing up as a kid with my mom, I went to Airborne, not too regularly, but, I went every once in a while. Then about 2021, I started getting big into it and started going every week with my mom, my family, my friends. And about 23 season, I started helping one of my good friends at the time, Bo, on a sports modified race team. And from there on, I was hooked. I really, I was there every night working on the car. I ended up buying an old Cavalier at the end of that season. And with support of my mom and the rest of my family and my friends, I started it up, got it going, and I raced 2 races at the end of that season. Not very good finishes, but so it went. Later that season, I built my own first car with the help of my friend and his dad. And that was 24 season going on. That season went all right. I was getting the hang of it. It wasn't the best, but I had some decent finishes, a couple podiums, but definitely was a learning experience. And coming on to this season, 25 heavy, I had a lot of help from old veteran drivers, and that really helped me out.
Mm-hmm. So you've had 2 complete full seasons, so 24, 25. So you're going into your 3rd.
Yes, this will be my 3rd.
Okay. And are you keeping the same car as last year?
Yes, I have the same car as I'm sitting in front of right now. I'm rebuilding it. I also bought another car, which is Steven Brissett's car. That'll be my backup car this year.
Okay. Perfect. So did he buy a new one or what's he doing?
He's all done, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Awesome. And where did the 61 come from?
So I wore that in football, all the sports I played in high school. And it's originally from my mom's fire department number.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. And you're keeping the same wrap and the colors? It's a pretty, I think it's a great looking car. So
Thank you. No, we're actually changing the wrap up, some new colors. I haven't released it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got it wrapped yet, but
yep.
We'll be releasing it on the opening day, Airborne.
Awesome.
Pictures and stuff.
Yeah, good for you. So Airborne is your home track?
Yes, I'm about probably 8 minutes away from Airborne.
Okay. I didn't realize how close it was to Granby.
Yeah, I'm about 2 hours from Granby.
Okay, yeah.
Not counting the border.
Okay, because I was talking to Jonathan this week, and he said Granby to Airborne is actually closer than Granby to like Brockville or Cornwall. So, which I didn't realize. So, how far are you from Mohawk?
Mohawk's about 1 hour and 45 minutes. It's not too bad of a drive.
Okay, so about the same.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you had quite the season, 2025. So 6 first place finishes, and I believe 3 of those you won in a row.
Correct. 2 at Airborne, and then the 3rd one at Devil's Bowl in a row.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how was that? Let's talk about those, because that was just the month of May.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you came out swinging. Good job. So yeah, how were those 3 nights? Let's talk about those.
So we had a rough start to the season. Trying to get a setup going on a new car, because this is my first year in a standard. Last year was. So it's totally different setup because I had automatic the year before. And my girlfriend's dad, Rick, came over, helped me. I actually bought his previous car from him. He helped me with the setup, and the car was on rails the next night. I ended up blowing the motor after I think I got to 6th place, and couldn't do anything. So we pulled in. We all changed the motor, everybody. Next week we came back, and that's when we got the first win. And that was my first career win in mini stock. And it was scary just driving to victory lane because it's something I've never done.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it felt amazing. That weight off my chest that I can actually do this. I can compete in this class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, good for you. And I know, like Mike, for example, I don't want to jump over to him, but when he won his first feature this year, like he actually ran an extra lap because he just took a minute to be like, wow, like just what you just said, like what a almost a relief, and like I am competitive. So good.
Yeah. Sometimes it's almost scary to let off. You're like, is it actually done?
You wait for that announcement, right? Like
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how did it feel going into your second podium?
I came back the next week, and the car was even better. It was better than last week. The track was super tacky. It was super smooth. And I started 10th, and I think I had the lead by about lap 8, and I held it pretty strong. I had a couple battles on a restart with Tyler Bell. I think Jeremiah King came in there too, but we ended up getting by him.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Well, congratulations, because that is something to be proud of. Like I say, when I was looking at your stats today, I was like, whoa, like 3 first place in a row. So, yep, that's great. And then how was Devil's Bowl?
Devil's Bowl was, I believe that was Mother's Day. So I ended up going with my mom, my girlfriend, and her boyfriend. We all went up, and it was wet. They wanted to get the early start to the season. It was wet, but it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was the car I got from Rick, so my girlfriend's dad.
Mm-hmm.
I had literally put the motor in it, transmission, everything in the night before. We went there because it was last minute. I had never drove the car before, just kind of threw it together. And we pulled 4 and chip. We started 4th. And I did battle for a couple laps, and I was able to get around them. The track got super rough because we were the last feature of the night and had been so wet. I mean, not to talk bad about the track, but it was like 1-foot holes.
Wow.
So it was kind of a battle of who could hit the holes hardest and keep going.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. I've never really watched Devil's Bowl. Like, I don't know really much about it, but good to know anyway. And then, sorry, go ahead.
It's definitely a different track. Compared to Airborne, it's a little more, I'd say, driver oriented. It's, takes more skill. Mm-hmm. It's not as sweeping as Airborne.
Okay. And then how would you compare it to Mohawk?
Mohawk's pretty similar to Airborne. It's not as banked. It's more flat sweeping.
Okay.
Devil's Bowl is pretty tight and not small, but it's tight.
Yeah. And then one of your wins, I believe it's June 26th. So one of your wins came after you started pretty deep in the field and worked pretty hard late in the race. And I believe you won this night. So what goes through your head when you're kind of starting closer to the back or mid-pack, and then you end up finishing first?
Every night I plan to get to the front. It can't always happen. It's racing. But, just take your time and try to be consistent. You got to be smart. You got to know the other drivers around you. You got to, kind of pre-think their moves so you can get by them, not mess your own race up. So, you just got to take your time, be smart, pass when you can. But sometimes you just got to take the move, and you got to thread the needle and go for it. And I'd say pretty known for that, just taking the move. Maybe people wouldn't do it, but you got to get to the front sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And how would you kind of what kind of driving style do you have?
Pretty aggressive. I like to go 3 wide a lot, down the middle, on the outside, even shoot into the middle, shoot to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever works. Like I say, if you want to push and you want to challenge yourself, and if you know your drivers around you, then why not?
Try to stay as clean as possible. I don't like getting into it, but sometimes it happens. I try to stay away from it, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in the mini stock division, so I believe you have some pretty good battles with Ryan Cynical, Jake Fountain, and Speedy Brissett all season.
Yes.
Yeah. So what pushes you? Like, which kind of, like, are those your main competitors, or like who pushes you the hardest out on that track?
I would say going into the season, I knew Ryan was going to be the hardest. We're not close, but we know each other. We talk. Mm-hmm. We help each other out. but he is a competitor. So, it's that give and take. Sometimes it's hard. It gets heated, but at the end of the day, we're just people racing, trying to have fun.
Yep. Absolutely. And then I've heard through kind of the grapevine, Airborne Park Speedway can be tricky with some, changing race lines. So what part of the track do you feel kind of gives you the biggest advantage? Or is
That
there a
really
certain...
depends on the night. I like middle to bottom. Sometimes you just have to get up high. Sometimes you have to eat the bottom. It depends on the track conditions. It's mostly slick at real dry slick at Airborne.
Mhm.
Couple nights it got real tacky, and then you could kind of go anywheres. But when it's real slick, you kind of got to run middle to bottom.
Yeah. Mhm.
Keep a lot of momentum.
Yeah. And then if you could relive one race this past season at Airborne, which one would it be?
I would probably say the 1,000 to win race on August 14th. That was
Is that the video
kind of
that
a
you
dream.
sent me?
I missed that. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Is that the video that you sent me where you won on the
Yes.
very last lap?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, maybe if you want to describe that race to everybody.
Yeah, so that was a pretty good race. Came out starting deep in the field. Don't remember. I think 12th. Yeah, I started 12th. Lap 8, I think it was 9th, and I actually got spun going down the backstretch. And I started tail, and we did about 4 restarts in a row. And the last restart, I was in turn 1 when they went green. Turn 4, I could see them coming. And I was like, I don't think I can do anything here. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna try to finish. Miraculously, we got up, I think P4 at one point about lap 15, and I was like, I can't believe I even got here. I'm just gonna stay here, stay consistent. I believe I got around Glenn Engstrom in P4 and got to P3, and it was just Nick Hard and Speedy, and they were battling it out, and I couldn't catch them. Honestly, they were gone. I was just happy to be in third. Going to the last corner, and I seen something happen. My eyes were kind of off them, getting ready to go in the corner, and I see Speedy go sideways and Nick go to the infield, and I was like, what do I do here? And I kind of lifted, and then I see them both go down, and I put it to the floor, and I seen Speedy come back up, and we just drag race to the finish line. Somehow I got him.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome video that you sent me. I'm sure I watched it 5-6 times because there was just so much that happened on that very last corner, so I had to rewatch it again. But good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, that was almost like a movie replay in my head. I was like, wow, that just happened.
yeah, and then you win $1,000. So
Yeah, that too. That's pretty good plus.
yeah. So does Airborne have quite a few of those big nights, or how do they kind of run their program through the summer?
There's a couple. I believe this year on the schedule is a 500 and there's 1,000 to win. There's a couple mini stock specials. Sometimes we go first. Sometimes most of the time we go last. But it depends.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say there's as much as like Mohawk. Mohawk's probably the number one track around here for mini stocks. In payout at least.
Mhm.
But we pay pretty decent at Airborne.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
On average, it's $150 American to win there.
Okay. Wow. And you say American, so for us, the Canadians that would travel down, they would benefit for sure. All right. So I have a Facebook question here from Jonathan Lacoste. So it's kind of a little mini paragraph. So just stick with me for a minute.
Right.
So he says Airborne has the healthiest mini stock in the area. So the highest steady car count, which is usually always sitting around 30 with almost no outsiders. And you guys have the strictest rules, which is closest to stock. So do you feel that this type of rule set keeps the class more accessible?
Yeah, I do. I kind of have mixed feelings about some other tracks. I go race some. I still like racing, obviously. But I do like Airborne and Devil's Bowl rule set. It does keep it stock. It keeps it where, it's a lot of the driver and setup. You can't really pay to win at Airborne. Some other tracks you can go buy, real expensive motors, etc. We have price rule on our tires, size rules, everything. I do like that. Sometimes it's nice to have a little opening, which at the end of the year, we usually have an open race. We can do whatever. And that's nice. But I do like that. And I think I'd rather have the more stock rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because his next question here is, would you prefer to run a more open rule book?
I like if I was traveling. Sure, it's hard to have one car and kind of switch between.
Hmm.
So this year I kind of plan on having that backup car for traveling to go to Granby. I'd like to go to RPM, Drummondville, up that way with that car.
Yeah.
And try to be competitive with that. Not have to use my setup, my car. You have to worry about it going back next week.
Yeah. Hmm. Absolutely. And then he has another question here. How do you adjust when traveling to the other tracks where your cars might be at a disadvantage?
So when I went up to Granby, I literally just ran my airborne setup, and it worked pretty decent. I just didn't have the pull. If I had a little bit different gearing, I think I really could have been okay. Maybe a little taller of a tire,
Hmm.
but for what I had, just going up and racing, did pretty decent.
We want to take a second here and thank our sponsor for tonight, TNT Dogs Unleashed, owned and operated by Cindy Draper. We've actually built a pretty good relationship with Cindy. Mike has a dog named Callie, an American bully who is 8 years old, that definitely had a couple behavioral issues. She was fantastic. She has a great facility, whether it's you have a puppy that just needs basic obedience, if you have a dog that needs more behavioral issues or bite issues. She is phenomenal. They do 6 week sessions. They do group sessions. They also have a very good Facebook page and a really good community. So if you have a dog that needs any basic training or specialty training, please reach out to TNT Dogs Unleashed or Cindy Draper. All right, so I'm going to switch over. We're going to do some rapid fire questions here. So I'm going to ask you a question, and just the first thing that pops into your head, just throw it out. All right.
All right.
All right. So, first question, hardest driver to pass in the mini stock division?
Yeah, there's a few. Ryan's real hard to pass. I'd say Ryan or Jake. They're real consistent. They're fast. They know you're coming. They can hear you. You know what I mean? And they're not going to block you, but they're going to make you work.
All right. Preferred starting spot, pole or mid pack?
I like the mid back. I feel like it's way more rewarding and it gives me time to scope out the field and the track.
Mm-hmm. Favorite track to race at besides Airborne?
100% Granby.
One word to describe racing at Airborne.
It's pretty smooth. Can be chaotic at times.
Okay.
More than one word, sorry.
No, that's fine. Favorite pre-race song or what type of music?
Don't really listen to music for a race. It's kind of just like to sit in my own head and
Mm-hmm.
chill.
Yeah, that's okay. If you weren't racing, what sport would you be competing in?
Probably be building muscle cars.
Favorite post-race meal?
Usually whatever's closest, I think McDonald's, the Devil's Bowl, Airborne McDonald's. Sometimes they just come home and eat if it's so late.
Yep. What message for the fans? So what would you tell the fans to convince them to come and watch?
It's a experience like no other, and you really can't get it in a result. You can feel it in your chest. The excitement from the drivers, the other fans around you. You can't experience it in any other sport or any results.
Mm-hmm. If you could race any car, what would it be for the night? Like any class, any car, which one would you pick?
I really would like to get in a pro stock. I don't really like modifieds. Never been a fan of actually racing them.
Mm-hmm.
I've never raced one, but I've never the concept of them. Don't like the way you're sitting. I don't like being in the middle of a car.
Yep. What is the best advice another driver or someone has given you?
Slower is faster.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. That wasn't so bad. Rapid fire is
No?
pretty fun sometimes. All right. So getting back to race talk. So during the night, are you kind of one that constantly makes adjustments, or if you go out for hot laps or heats, everything's good, do you just leave it as is, or do you kind of have like a setup for heats, a setup for features, or what does your night look like?
That depends on the track. Airborne, I'll just give for example. It's usually pretty consistent. My car is pretty consistent, but if it's real slick, real tacky, if they just threw water down, I will go out and change things. It's hard sometimes because hot laps and our feature or our heat and feature could be 2-3 hours apart. So the track can change a lot. So a lot of it's last second, just watching other people race. The renegades go out, the modifieds go out, see what the track does,
Mhm.
and try to change as best you can from there. But I usually have a pretty consistent setup in my car.
Yeah. And then how much prep time do you kind of take? Because you guys race every week, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So how many nights or how many days do you kind of prep your car between races?
So we race on Thursday. Usually I'll leave it on the trailer, go to work the next day. I'll come down from work, I'll take it off, wash it.
Mhm.
Saturday morning, evening, I'll come out here, check everything over, clean my tires, get everything ready, put it back together, clean the inside of it out, check my motor, check my spark plugs, check my fuel injectors, just go through, make sure everything's good, make sure nothing's gonna come apart for the next race.
Mhm.
If I have a tire that needs to be changed, I'll change it. I try to get it most done on the weekends as I can, so I can enjoy the rest of my week and not be rushed after work.
Yeah. Mhm. How is
But if
racing
I'm
on
replacing,
Thursdays?
sorry,
No, I was just gonna say, how is racing on Thursdays? Because I'm just listening to you talk about like, well, like you have to work, so you do this, and then like Saturday mornings, so you're limited to just the weekend.
yeah. So it is different. I do like it because you get your week. I mean, I don't really get my weekends off because I'm working on the car still, but it is nice to have time to be able to go do something on the weekends. I usually am at a racetrack on the weekends. I usually go to the Devil's Bowl. I have a guy that drives my Crown Vic, Scott Richner. So I usually go watch him. But I'm doing something on the weekends, and it's nice to not be racing all the time.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And then let's talk about your team. So, how much help do you have at home prepping your car and cleaning it out?
It's mainly just my girlfriend, my mom, her boyfriend, and my girlfriend's dad, Rick.
Okay. Hmm. Yep. So nothing too crazy. So you basically like you do a lot of your own maintenance and repairs, and between I guess your team, of course. But
Yeah, it's pretty much just family.
yeah, nothing wrong with that. And then who is your biggest supporter when it comes to your racing career?
I would have to say my mom or my girlfriend. It's pretty hard to choose.
Yeah, don't pick between the two of them. It'll just start a war. Oh, that's great. It is nice to have that support, and it is nice to hear that it's a family team, so you can travel around and spend the race days with your family, which is great.
Yeah, it makes it a lot better.
Absolutely, and it's something kind of fun that you guys can do outside of the house and experiences.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk 2026. So what are your big goals?
So number one goal would be to go to Airborne and try to win the championship. That's my goal for this year.
Hmm.
I'm also getting in a rear-wheel drive Crown Vic this year. I think we have 10 races at Airborne and then 8 at Airborne. Or no, I just said that. We have 10 races at Devil's Bowl and then 8 at Airborne. So it's a part-time class, but I'd like to start getting rear-wheel drive. Still going to be full-time on the mini stock, so I'm just going to do double duty those nights.
Hmm. So are you going to the Crown Vic is yours? So you're going to be racing in two different cars?
Yes, so I have 2 Crown Vics as of right now, and then I have a driver for one,
Okay.
which is Scott Richner, as I said earlier.
Hmm.
He's full-time in just Crown Vics, and then I'm going to be racing the mini stocks and the Crown Vics.
Wow. All right. So how many different classes are at Airborne? Like,
Weekly, we have just sportsman modifieds, limited modifieds, renegades, and then the mini stocks.
okay. And then so would you run the Crown Vic on which nights?
They have specials. Usually, when there's big special nights, I think most of the races are on weekends or Sunday nights.
Hmm.
First couple of races are on Sundays. There's Crown Vics that come, the 358s, big blocks, sprint cars, a couple other different classes, pro stocks.
Hmm. And then
They're all sprinkled in there.
yeah. Oh, that's really cool. You will have a very busy season. That is for sure.
Oh yeah, I
And
believe.
yeah.
Before we even put any of the extra races on, we have 32 races scheduled.
Wow. And then when does your season start at Airborne?
Airborne is going to be Saturday, the April 11th for the first practice, and the first race will be Sunday the 12th.
Okay. And then do you run right up until like September, October?
Yes, till September at Airborne, and probably do a little bit traveling after.
Okay. Wow. So you have, I think it's almost an extra month than we do because we start, I think, the second weekend of May up here. So yeah, you get
I mean,
some
we're
time in.
hoping to start in April. I mean,
Mhm.
the weather depending.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Do you guys still have snow down there?
My house is almost totally gone. Just a couple snowbanks.
Okay, so it's coming. That's awesome. And then what about racing at Brockville or Cornwall? Have you ever considered that?
I would like to go to Cornwall. I know Scotty goes there, my other driver. He loves it there. I'd like to go. It's just, I think they race on Sundays.
They do. Yeah.
They do.
Mhm.
That's a little hard for me, but I'm sure I can make it work. Just getting back home in time.
Well, that's what I was thinking when you said Thursday nights. That must be hard because if you work Thursday and then you work Friday, you must be pretty tired.
Yeah, I usually get home. I usually get done at the races. Packed up, done 10:30. Get home for 10:40.
Mm-hmm.
I usually just unhook a trailer and go in. It's
Yeah.
not terrible, but if I got to drive, hour and a half, 2 hours, wouldn't be great.
Yeah. No, absolutely. What time do your races start at Airborne?
It's usually 5:36.
Okay. So yeah, it's a late night then, like I say, and that's what Cornwall
Yeah,
is too. It's Sunday nights are hard because a lot of people work Mondays, but yeah.
I would 100% take a night race over a day race. That's sure. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't like racing in the day.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. And then Granby's on your schedule again this year, I'm assuming.
I think I got one or two on there. I'd like to go up. It's kind of schedule depending what's going on here, but I'd like to go at least once. I'd like to go to at least RPM, Drummondville, probably Cornwall.
Mm-hmm.
Go with the Mohawk. I want to go down to Malta again. Maybe Lebanon Valley.
Okay. So yeah, you have quite a few. So you have 32 without traveling.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's gonna be busy.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not gonna hit all those, but it's my goal to at least try to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck. I wish you all the best for sure.
Thank you.
So that is all I have, JP. I wasn't sure if you want to chat about anything else or bring anything up, but
Um,
or any races that you want to kind of chit chat about.
Off the top of my head, no, not really. That's a lot of it.
Okay. I think this was really good because, like I say, we don't know really anyone that's down in Airborne. So I really
Yep.
appreciate that you came on and gave some insight into the track and the special nights that you guys have down there. So I think it's great.
No, everyone's a nice track. Growing up around it, it's always been there. Mike Bruno came on like 2 years ago, and he's done a lot for the place and making it come around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, like Jonathan said, so on average, you guys run 30 mini stocks.
Yeah, give or take, 28, 30, but usually pretty high class count, way more than other tracks you go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe it's because of stock rules, and you can get into it not cheap, but and no racing's cheap, but a lot cheaper than other tracks. Having to build full blown race cars.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you find the people that run Airborne also run Devil's Bowl and like they kind of bounce back and forth? Or are those 30 cars mostly Airborne Park Speedway cars?
I'd say there's like two or three that would travel back and forth, but it's you know, pretty separated. And down at Devil's Bowl, I'd say they have at least 25, 28 cars down there weekly too that don't really come up here.
Yeah. And what night does Devil's Bowl run?
Devil's Bowl Saturday nights.
Okay. So it's pretty good considering that you guys run Thursday nights and you keep a steady count at 30.
Yeah, it is impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody's local. There's a couple guys that travel, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of locals.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Like I know Brockville for average will run 20, 23 cars every second Saturday night. So
That's pretty decent.
yeah.
I mean, we'll usually have 20. We'll usually have 24 in the A main, and then we usually do a B main too. Sometimes cars are wrecked out. It's usually about a 6-car B main. They're only get 8 laps, but at least it gives those guys that are under some laps instead of just nothing going home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah.
And the winner of the B main can go to the A main and start tail.
Okay. That's not too bad. So they just take the one winner because I think they on like for the most part, our B mains are only on like the bigger nights. So like fall nationals, like when we have a big car count, but yeah,
Yep.
our typical Saturday nights, we wouldn't have that many. So
Yeah, we're big enough to pretty much have them every single night.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes, if the race director sees that, 4 of the 6 cars in the B main wrecked out, he'll just put everybody in the A. But usually this doesn't happen that way. But sometimes it does. It's
Mm-hmm.
racing.
Yeah, well, that's great. And I'm sure like the fans then too see a little bit more racing. So that's great.
Yeah,
That's
it's always
awesome.
good. And then those lower drivers can get a good chance.
Yeah, well, that's great. We will have to make our way down there to watch for a night. That's for sure. Because Mike's the same as you. He likes to protect his car for like the Brockville and not
Yeah.
really take it anywhere else. So
It's hard sometimes with one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, no, that's awesome. All right. So, yeah, anything else before I let you go?
I'd like to just thank my sponsors if I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to give a big thanks for Jacob Joe Butts Property Maintenance, Precision Heating and Air Conditioning, Northline Utilities for coming on this year, Kirk's Tinting for 3 years of sponsoring, T&B Metals, and Corrow Built Cars.
Perfect. Well, hopefully they all listen to this because I think, as you know, it was a really good episode and it was really, really good to get to know you. So
thank you.
I can't thank you enough for coming on. So don't hang up.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't hang up. I'm just going to say bye to everybody else and then I will chat with you before you go.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming back. Up next, we're trying to get Terry McClellan on. Not really sure if that is going to happen. If not, Patrick Pedrinko is next. So thanks, everybody, for coming back.